This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
This is your Is There a Receiver in the House? Leader Fan Radio Network.
Tweet that.
KFAN.com. 2 minutes, 4 seconds past the hour, 3 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Welcome back. It is a Thursday production of the Wednesday production of the Bumper to Bumper show on a, I think, fairly pleasant, decreasing dew pointy Wednesday afternoon here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. My name's Dan Barreiro. I am joined, as always, by Justin Guard, affectionately referred to as Guardsy in some circles, the tasteless box of mashed potatoes in others. Is there a third nickname I'm forgetting about? Well, you were the pup.
I was the pup.
With PA, right?
I still get
PA
that a little
and the
bit.
Pup.
Some people call me JG.
JG, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a few.
You got a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Good for you. Dew point a little more manageable? Did you see it? I thought you were looking it up. I'm kind of curious because I think it's still warm, but it felt like the corn sweat index was a little bit more favorable today.
Dew point is 63 right now.
Oh, that's still pretty high.
That would indicate fairly oppressive.
You're right. Allegedly, it's about to turn. Is it tomorrow, first day at the Great Minnesota Get-Together, or is it Friday when I think the high is going to be like 68 degrees?
I mean, tomorrow's sunny and 82, so that seems like...
Well, but it could be 82 and drier.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't tell me the dew point on the detailed forecast.
I think the high Sunday is 57. So that's got to be...
You're close, 66.
66. Too chilly? Not... Who's behind you there? I can't even see because of the reflection.
I had to look, too. It's Lavelle Neal III.
Lavelle Neal, what is he doing here?
I assume he's picking up state fair tickets.
Exactly. What a fraud.
Yeah.
What do you mean state fair tickets? Why should he get state fair tickets?
He's coming out to join us.
So we don't give them to anybody else who comes to see us?
We actually do now.
Oh, we do?
We've upgraded, yeah.
Is that right?
We're becoming a first-class organization in year 40 of our existence.
Who do we have? Who gives credit? Let's salute the individuals responsible.
Lil B, one and only.
Good for Lil B, man.
Yeah.
She gets stuff done.
And
I'm impressed.
I kind of went with you. I said, most of our guys are pretty conditioned. She goes, I want to get them tickets. We have tickets for them. Just let me know who needs them.
That's impressive.
She demanded that we give them tickets.
So that's the first fair-related surprise that you're kind of, springing on me. Is the second going to be I show up at 2:45 in front of our booth tomorrow, and the people in front of us will have shade cover? Don't count on that one?
The money went to the tickets, not the shade.
So it was one or the other.
Yeah, we had to pick.
I see.
We
went with the contributors,
yes,
not with the rubes who graciously and loyally come to see us.
So we could have done like a contributor roundtable right off the top because I don't even. And Lavelle, you grab the mic, bring it over here.
Yeah, you can turn it on.
I don't even know. I got a text at 2:54 from Johnny Athletic saying,
"Where's my ticket?
No, can you let me in? I'm here to pick up my ticket." So he's also here, or was 5 minutes ago, getting his tickets. Lavelle just got his.
Well, if we would Mace have come if we at least said we will get you the ticket? That's not enough. He wants a driver too, right? He wants Carrie Limo guy. Or at our expense.
Yeah, or a helicopter right into the grandstand.
Yeah, swooping into the grandstand.
Yeah, one of the two.
Lavelle, how many times are you on with PA? Once or twice at the fair?
Right now, once.
Once with us.
And then I'm interviewing Wild Coach John Hines on the 28th.
Okay.
I believe at the Star Tribune booth. And then...
What time is that? Because you're supposed to be on with Dan at 4 that day.
What are you doing to us here?
I think it's at 1 o'clock.
Okay, that's good.
Hey, the little B of the Star Tribune contacted us and say, "Are you available due to this, or this?" And I think Michael Rand's going to interview some Lynx players, or either Sherry or something that week. And I'm doing John Hines. So
you old puckhead.
Plus, I'm also coming out.
Are you gonna grill him? Are you gonna hold his feet to the fire?
Well, it'll be a mixture.
Okay.
It'll be like a combo platter. Right. We'll cover all kinds of subjects, and then I'll try to get him to rip. Marco Rossi for not being able to grow any facial hair, and that's why he doesn't like him. And
so some wacky stuff, lighten it up.
Yeah.
And then you come in for the kill.
Yeah, exactly. You got to soften them up, you know.
You got to make the playoffs, and you got to make a run.
I made a career as a baseball writer after softening up people before hitting them with the hard stuff.
Well, we're still waiting for you to hit the hard stuff.
Oh, wow. That's
how many years?
Good to see you, though.
It is good to see. It's always good to see Lava.
Well, the other thing,
where's Johnny? Someone send Johnny down the hall. Let's just have everybody
Johnny's here right now?
He was. I don't know if he already left.
We have time before 3:30. We could, we could have some sort of a. Could we have a sports, like an impromptu sports roundtable?
A summit.
How about that?
Another one of our summits. First one in a while.
No, how about that? That'll work.
He probably blew out of here already.
Also commandeered one in your office. It seems like all of a sudden you guys have a lot of empty office space.
We do. So. Everybody's got an office now.
Yeah,
it's not all of a sudden that the offices have been empty.
So I actually wrote my column for tomorrow in one of the offices. It was great.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a little bit of privacy.
Yeah.
So if you want to be bothered by people, you can come out into the main area. But if not, they'll probably leave you alone because they don't even know half the time anybody's in those offices or who it is, correct?
Exactly, man. I noticed that.
It's not a bad gig if you can get it. That's for sure.
I may come out here more often now.
Do you have a wide receiver? So allegedly, who had the story? It was NFL Network guy, our guy, .com Tom.
Pelissero.
He had the story. Maybe others have also picked up on it or had it at the same time. I don't know. Basically saying Vikings are sniffing around for veteran wide receiver help via trade. We've tried to warn the organization, the collaborative organization, for weeks that you need to do this. Now, again, the price matters. No, it doesn't have to be Adam Thielen. I mean, every day we get 10 Adam Thielen texts.
Do.
People are obsessed.
They are.
And I got nothing against him.
He's one of us.
It'd probably be a decent pickup in short order, but it doesn't have to be Adam Thielen, does it? Just because he's one of us?
Yeah, that's it.
Man, it just gets old after a while, doesn't it?
But who else could it be?
Expected.
Well, that's
Look
the
where
question.
you live.
Well, aren't there? Who's the big name who hasn't signed with anybody? But obviously, it would probably cost some money. Who am I thinking of?
Keenan Allen just re-signed with San Diego.
I saw that. He was with your club last year, right? The Bears?
Yes.
He's 50.
Is Amari Cooper still out there?
Cooper's the one. Why is Amari Cooper not signed? And then somebody suggested we're going to get, who's the Miami receiver who's been warring with his head coach?
Tyreek Hill?
Yeah,
Tyreek Hill. Can we steal Tyreek Hill? How expensive is he?
A lot.
Expensive.
Yeah, very.
And is he going to fit in the culture of collaboration if you can't get along with Mike McDaniel?
Do not underestimate the goodwill that the quarterback whisperer is able to spread.
I don't know, man.
He turns around the toughest challenges, the most divisive forces. He would have had Aaron Rodgers eating out of his hand.
Probably right.
Within 2 weeks. You know it, I know it, but yeah, it's a fair question, and it's not going to be somebody like that, but probably the best option on paper. Naylor, did he undergo surgery yet?
I don't know.
Somebody who we had on yet? Was it Seifert yesterday?
Yesterday was Tuesday.
He said they expected
hurt his hand.
He got a hand issue, and supposedly, good chance he's viewed as week to week, which is scary as it is. By the way, speaking of Seifert, we had apparently, because we're not going to play anybody on Friday night in our third preseason game, it was a bloodbath in practice today. Did you see that?
I did.
Speaking of receivers,
I did.
Addison and Ty Felton both left with what looked like hand/arm injuries. Neither, they both remain on the sidelines, but neither resumed practice.
There were rumblings a week ago that Addison was going to play some in the final preseason game just because of the suspension.
I think that's counterintuitive. I would say I don't want him to play in the final preseason game, A, because he could get hurt above and beyond the suspension, and B, because I want to give other receivers a chance to emerge. Somebody's got to emerge, right? We already know what Jordan Addison can do, correct? Right. Are you going to punish him by playing him in the third preseason game? That seems a bit gratuitous.
I wouldn't say playing him all 4 quarters, but play him a quarter.
But why?
The second quarter, and then take him off the field.
Why?
I'm just saying, I was at the stadium for the first preseason game, and that was the vibe coming out of the Vikings locker room, that they're going to have Addison play some in the third game.
But you're not answering my question. I still don't think it's logical to do it. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
It just depends how many plays he's in. I mean, I can't see how a handful of plays hurts.
Well, then you could say, why not say that about some other starters? He's a star. He's a pretty important player on this club now. We'll all agree. Maybe that'll be fool's gold if he continues to get into trouble.
But you also have two other receiver spots that could play at the same time with him. So guys are getting reps. But if guys are getting injured now, I mean, that changes the whole dynamic.
Well, it may be moot now if depending on how serious this injury is.
We might need a corner, too, because Jeff Okudah got hurt.
I saw Okudah as well.
Yeah.
It's all coming apart already here.
Took his right shoe off and went inside mid-practice, according to Seifert.
Well, we might as well have played our starters every game then. If we're going to work the folks this hard, and if KOC is going to run a Les Steckel practice scrimmage,
the Junction Boys.
Honest to God. Yeah. I mean, what are you trying to prove at this point?
When's Case Keenum going to join the Vikings?
Did the Bears cut him?
Did the Bears cut him?
No, they signed Tyson Bagent to a 2-year contract.
I guarantee you this, and you know this will happen. If the starter struggles the first 2 weeks with the new head coach, because everybody says, well, you can't, if the offense struggles now, it can't be Ben Johnson because he knows how to run an offense. It's got to be then the QB. Within 2 weeks, there'll be Bagent mania in Chicago. You know it, and I know it. He was brilliant, by the way, after Caleb Williams was pulled the other night.
Apparently, he's had a really good camp. And
although his father's a bit of a problem, I think.
Well, haven't heard much about his old man.
Well, that's
camp.
smart.
Hopefully, he's managing his father better.
Yes, that's a good way to put it because I think that's exactly.
We did that in teenagers, man. We managed our parents to make sure we get what we want in the end.
All right, let's do this. Let's break. Lavelle making a kind of a sneaky appearance out of nowhere. Johnny is not going to show up, I guess.
He texted me and said he took his free stuff and ran.
What a fraud. Yeah.
But he also took a shot at Lavelle, I think, saying, I didn't want to be presumptuous and come down in studio.
Well, you didn't have to be presumptuous. You could still wave.
I came by to say hello.
Well, it worked well.
And this might help because if Lavelle's here with you, then I can let Alan Page in if and when he comes and we're on the air.
We do expect we're not going to get Alan Page to come to the Great Minnesota Get-Together, but it's the next best thing. In studio today, the day before the Great Minnesota Get-Together begins. That is scheduled for 3:30. That is our only scheduled guest, unless you can get .com Tom on later. Talk about this wide receiver rumor.
His show is on during our show.
That's what I thought.
That's the problem.
Makes it a little bit complicated from back in the day. I've got a done-as to get to. I've got a couple of rants to get to. It'll be a bit.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Show. Stay.
You're listening to The Fan.
Country music stars Rascal Flatts are making their return to Minnesota January 23rd at XL Energy Center. Catch all their timeless hits alongside special guests Lauren Elena and Chris Lane. Tickets are on sale now. All the details at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Dan, if you want to talk to an individual who is currently doing another radio show at the same time as yours, I understand the difficulties, but isn't it possible that you call each other and then both audiences can hear the discussion? That might be interesting. Well, the sticky wicket there is, I think, he's doing a TV show.
He's on NFL Network.
And we're doing a radio show. And we're going to be viewed as, well, it's a little silly radio show in Twin Cities. We're the NFL Network. Are you kidding me? We've got major donors and responsibilities, correct?
I think PA's done that with his buddy Softy in Seattle, though.
Oh,
yes.
Softies.
Yeah. We've done it before. Chicago, we've done it with.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's happened from time to time.
It's actually pretty fun.
It can be good. It can be cliched. It kind of depends on the approach that everybody takes, if they have fun with it or not. Lavelle giving us a little bonus time now. I want to congratulate my friends at MnDOT It's now, I have it at 11 straight days that they've had the Xenia Park Place exit going eastbound towards Minneapolis.
Closed.
Shut down.
It's still closed.
Without any, not even a hint of a truck, a jackhammer, or anything. Right now, there is legitimate work, it appears, going on the Louisiana exit. That is also backed off, or crossed off, or is blocked off 2 in a row.
And they got that closed. They also have the damn road that takes you to the Supermoon Buffet shut down.
Yes,
it's almost impossible to get there now.
Impossible. But what I'm saying is, I know it's a lot to ask. Well, we're actually not going to shut down 2 consecutive exits when we're only working on one. And when we get to that other one, then we shut that down as well. And we show enough respect for the people who, drive in this area, work in this area, by the way, who have businesses in this area, that we're going to, do this in an orderly fashion, because it's crickets. Crickets. In fact, I think I told you this the other day, Garzi. I've seen some cars. There's a place, once the detour starts, where you're supposed to be heading to 100, where there's actually, if you don't have traffic behind you, you can cheat and get through to Xenia Park Place. And I don't blame people for doing it. There is nothing happening in that area, and there is nothing happening at the top of the street as well. It's embarrassing, but MnDOT, again, you can say they have a thankless task, and in some ways they do, given the little construction that we have, or the little period of time we have for construction in this town with winter the way it is. But there's nothing logical about much of what they do, and they apparently have to answer to nobody.
Well, eastbound 94 from downtown Minneapolis through 280 is now reopened, all 4 lanes of traffic. It was down to 2 lanes, and they had only one exit available between downtown and 280 eastbound 94. But now that's been relieved. And I mentioned this in my column, my links column. I said the person who schedules road construction projects for MnDOT must also do the WNBA schedule to have the
very
links.
Similar.
And the Liberty played 3 straight times.
It's remarkable.
and
the Liberty finally beat them last night.
Yeah. Although, once again, still more controversy because the Lynx got within 3 or 4.
Right. And
they called an illegal or over-aggressive closeout on the big for the Lynx, number 77.
Right.
The Russian gal. Ionescu.
Well, the game is over.
She flopped. It became a 6-point swing, though.
No,
she hit the 3. Then because of the
I heard Dan Lasoda go off on this. You know what that call is? That call is you got to give a player a landing spot. I didn't think that was that bad a call. And the game, the game was over with that shot.
I thought it was skittish. No. The shot. Then on top of that, she got 2 free throws, made 1, and then they scored on the ensuing possession.
Right.
So she hit the 3, but then they got possession back in the additional
on the
free
offensive
throws.
rebound.
So that really just made the whole thing dastardly. So I thought that she flopped and pulled and got the ref to make the call.
Concrete takes 30 days to properly cure. No traffic on it until it is fully cured. They haven't done anything yet. Nothing's happened. They haven't changed anything that I've seen. If there's someone who can tell me different, I'll be glad to pass that along as well. Dan, same thing with 35W South towards Burnsville. Ramp to 13 is closed, as well as Burnsville Parkway and then 42. Literally 3 exits in a row.
I saw that yesterday too.
There's just nothing. I'm sorry. I think most people are reasonable enough to say, it's not going to be fun, but it's part of life. There has to be improvements made, right? There are projects that have to get done. I really think most people get that, even if it ruins their day or frustrates them. But let's be honest. I mean, have some organization to it, some order to it, where you're giving people a chance to adjust. But there's no adjustment. There is no adjustment possible if you're closing 2 straight exits or 3.
But you just can't go anywhere in this metropolitan area without running into like a serious construction.
That's correct.
Not just a minor, a serious one every like 10 to 12 miles.
That's correct.
I've been in every quadrant. I've seen them all. It's unbelievable what's going on. And the one by the Vikings Stadium, by U.S. Bank, is not supposed to end until November 5th.
November 5?
Yes.
That should go well. Well, somebody sent me out a tweet that around Dinkytown, the Gopher Stadium, that there's some lanes blocked off there, too. Is that true?
That's exactly right. I went over there last week.
What are they doing there?
I went to Volleyball Media Day, and the talk among the players was about how bad traffic was on our campus. They're doing resurfacing, and they're updating like the ramps for wheelchairs and stuff, intersections.
Well, that's important.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I get that, but
it's just like it's just everywhere.
Yeah.
There's something going on everywhere.
You know who can get to the bottom of all this?
Who? Kessler?
Our guy's coming in at he's here already, but he's going to start. He's going to join us at 3:30. Alan Page has so many markers he could call in. This guy is connected on every level.
It's always good to see a former Bears player.
Ooh, well, technically true. There's no arguing it, and an effective Bears player, I might add. Much to the delight of Bud Grant, as I recall it, and Sarah others as well. We sometimes have had Alan Page at the fair.
Yep.
Last year we didn't. Well, we'll talk about all this with him.
Last year,
I
thought last year was one of your best performances ever.
Yeah,
on the fly, because you had Bill Guerin
on. That's right.
In studio, right? I mean, at the fair.
At the fair,
and Alan called
in a rainstorm.
Yeah, and Bill and Alan were able to just find simpatico on all kinds of subjects, and it was awesome.
Hockey and football came together.
Yes.
In significant ways. All right, let's do this. Lavelle, thanks for the time.
Yeah.
Appreciate seeing you. We'll see you at the fair. What day are you coming out with us?
I believe, was it a week from Thursday?
Yes, Thursday the 28th,
So
4 o'clock, one of the short shows.
Thursday, it's a short show.
I'm bringing a few books. If people want to buy a book, I'll sign it for them.
Will you sign them?
Yes, and it'll be less than face cover.
Really?
Yes. Don't say you're selling the books, because the fair is going to make you give like 10% to them.
Oh, that's right.
So you just sold it for even less than you had intended.
Yeah, you shouldn't have let that. Now, it'll get back to them. They've got moles everywhere.
Well, you remember we had the new mascot, Stribby the Duck?
Yes.
And so
Are you bringing Stribby back?
Royce wanted Stribby to walk over to the KSTP booth. The State Fair people stopped him because he did not apply to have a mascot. We did not apply to have a mascot license.
I think they made the right call.
Wait,
so Stribby had to stay around the
Is Stribby back this year?
Yes, Stribby's back this year.
Does he have his papers? Is he legit?
I think he has his papers.
Who's in the costume? Is it a former Strib staff writer?
It's a various.
It's not Zagoda, is it?
It's whoever has agreed to be paid for the gig.
All right, fair enough.
I don't think it's a former employee.
That'd be sad if it was true, but you got to do what you got to do, I guess.
I just know that one time I was trying to talk to him. So, how you feeling? He's like, I just want to get out of this.
He took the buyout.
Well, yeah, it was hot. I'm sure that costume has to be just, you
it just
bake it, you
seals
roast
in all
in
the
it,
juices.
And it just, like you said, you sweat in it, and then you got to smell it. You got to smell yourself.
Yes.
Right? Thanks, Lavelle.
All right.
Indeed, when we come back, a nice visit is scheduled with our good friend Alan Page, back to talk about, we hope, all kinds of stuff. We'll see how that goes. You can hit the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line, as always. If you have questions, comments, 64686. In fact, we'll talk to Alan right off the bat about an in-studio guest yesterday, his Alan Page story, which was very interesting. It's from a gentleman that Alan Page knows very well. We'll get to that and many other things next.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Our friend Greg Coleman is back in town raising money for the local sports and mentoring program at the YMCA, and you can help. We are taking bids now for 2 tickets and a touchdown suite for the Vikings-Ravens game. That's on Sunday, November 9th with host Greg and Eleanor Coleman. You can enjoy the full luxury of hosted food and beverages just feet behind the east end zone with some of the best views in the NFL. Field-level seating, premium leather theater-style chairs. Touchdown suite guests also have full access to the Delta Sky 360 Club, and it's all-inclusive hospitality. Here's what else the package has. Hotel, game day breakfast with Greg, a Greg Coleman jersey, a Vikings legend signed football, and 2 signed copies of Greg's book, Punt, Flip the Field. Just call us at 651-989-5326. The current bid, $3,000 right now. We'll be doing this till the end of the show. All the money goes to the YMCA.
All right, Alan Page is kind enough to come to see us, moved over a couple of chairs, and is seated now where Lavelle was. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
It's great to see you. It's always great to see you. As I mentioned earlier, you look terrific. You refuse to age, which is remarkable. Well, maybe in some ways, but certainly not, physically, man. You look great.
Well, thank you.
Still got that gleam. That's the key. I don't even want to see it when you've lost that gleam in your eyes. It's still there.
Well, hopefully we won't lose it for a while.
Great to see you. By the way, yesterday in that very chair, we had Andy Luger, the former U.S. attorney, who I think you know some.
Yes.
And he said, I said, I mentioned that you were going to come in today. And he's one of those people who has a story for everybody, kind of, I said, well, do you have an Alan Page story? He said, yeah. He said, I grew up, as odd as this sounds, as a New York kid or New Jersey kid, a Rams fan. Because, well, the New York team, the Giants weren't very good at that point. For whatever reason, we latched on to the Rams. One of his favorite quarterbacks was Roman Gabriel. And in fact, he said he even still has the Roman Gabriel autobiography that he wrote. Can't remember the name of it. And he said he did run into you at an event, a party of some sort, and that he immediately tried to grill you on a play that he still is haunted by, whether Gabriel was actually tackled in the end zone for a safety, or as Gabriel contended, he actually got out to like the half-yard line, and he said you remembered that play, and you gave a fairly short and succinct answer, correct? Do you remember that?
I don't remember the answer, but I can tell you that it wasn't even close.
Definitely in the end zone.
Definitely in the end zone.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to be sure. I think that's what he had. I don't remember the way he said it.
He said basically that Alan interrupted him and just said he was in the end zone.
Yeah, that was it.
He jumped the story.
Yeah, he did. He didn't even wait for the question he knew was already coming, which I enjoyed very much. In fact, when you celebrated your 80th birthday, happy birthday.
Thank you.
There was an NFL Films guy, I cannot remember his name, who is very, I think, good at using the available NFL Films library to celebrate, for example, a birthday like yours, highlights, that sort of thing. And among the highlights he showed that day was, and I'm sure you remember it better than I do, you sacked the quarterback. I cannot remember who the quarterback was.
Well, there were only 148 of them. So,
well, this one you might remember because you got called for roughing the passer. You didn't like the call, and on the very next play, you sacked the same quarterback, and then you can be seen kind of jogging over to that same official, presumably to say something like, was that clean enough for you, sir, on consecutive plays. That's pretty good when you can, okay, I'll show you. You thought that was illegal. I'll sack him again the next play.
Well,
do you remember that?
Well, as I suspect you're talking about Detroit.
Yes, that's right.
1971, maybe.
I think that's right, yeah.
And 3 penalties in a row.
Yeah.
And after a while,
Well, the quote, there was also a comment from one of your former teammates, I think it was Jim Marshall. And the quote from Marshall was, the one thing you didn't want to do is get Alan Page angry. We talked about a lot of stuff over the years you've been on. Do you agree with that, or is that just something players like to say? Or could you reach another gear if, for whatever reason, you got annoyed?
I don't know that angry is the right word, but
committed.
There were some occasions when what's the word? when you just get wired and for whatever reason, you can do no wrong. And those occurrences are few and far between.
Sure, yes.
But that was one of them.
You took full advantage of those for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's, a lot of directions I'm hoping we can go today, including any you want to go in. You know, it doesn't always have to be about me leading the way if there's something stuck in your craw or a direction you'd like to go. But just give folks an update of these days, what the average day is like for Alan Page.
Up at 5 o'clock, out the door by 6 for my daily walk. From there, you know, grocery shopping, maybe the occasional talk, every opportunity I get to play my part as Gruber, the Grandpa Uber, with the grandkids. They're getting to be the age where I'm not going to have too much more of that, but for the moment I'm relishing in it. And in fact, today got to take one of the granddaughters to a birthday party midday. Lucky me. My youngest daughter and I, Cammie, we just finished the turning over to the designer our 6th children's book.
Oh, nice. So 6th one now.
Six, and we're looking forward to getting that designed and published. That'll be fun, and probably a little too much playing Wordle and spelling bee, particularly spelling bee. It's a challenge, my challenge for the day. Maybe a little bit of just entertainment reading, and that's pretty much it.
How renewing are grandchildren?
Oh, it's not even renewing. They don't let you get old. I mean,
but that's good.
They keep you from needing to be renewed. No, I love it. When the first one was born, I thought it would be, great to have grandkids. I had no clue. I mean, I literally had no idea how life-altering and attitude-adjusting that would be. But I can remember walking into the hospital room when they brought him in, and when they brought him in, looking into his eyes, and it was like the earth moved underneath my feet. That's how great it is, and it's been the same experience with all 4 of mine.
They won't let you get old.
No, absolutely not.
That's the beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it, and they're not babies anymore.
Yeah,
they're, in fact, the one is, as I noted, a senior in high school and will be off to college next year. But, they still want to hang out with Grandpa.
When you read, what kind of stuff? You said read for entertainment. So does that mean lighter stuff, novels, nonfiction? What's in the Alan Page library these days?
A little bit of everything. I just finished The River We Remember. I can't think of the author's name, but I loved it.
Fiction or nonfiction?
Fiction.
Fiction, okay.
In fact, set in southern Minnesota.
Really?
Yes. A fictional southern Minnesota.
Right.
But I thought it was just excellent.
The River We Remember. I'm looking it up as we speak. William Kent Kruger.
Yes.
Very good writer. I mean, he's been established for years. Yeah.
Yes, the first thing I read by him, I loved it.
Here's the summary according to Goodreads. In 1958, a small Minnesota town is rocked by the murder of its most powerful citizen, pouring fresh fuel on old grievances in this dazzling standalone novel. Sound right?
Sounds right on point. It pulled me along from the first word to the last.
Have you always been a reader, or is that something you developed?
Something I developed. I started. It began for me as a freshman at Notre Dame. That first training camp. I mean, I'd done some reading before that, but it had never captured me. And then I read during my first training camp at Notre Dame. I read Catch 22, and
light went off like something's up here.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. That did it for me. What's the other one I just finished? I'm also in a book club, so I get a steady diet of reading.
So does that mean, is it the kind of book club where you meet with other members occasionally and talk about the books too?
Once a month.
No kidding.
Once a month, 10 months of the year.
And how big is the group?
There are about 20 of us.
20, okay.
10 to 15 show up regularly. And it's not always the same.
Right,
10
right,
to 15,
exactly, sure.
What's the...
So Notre Dame, they made you go to class. Notre Dame, you had to go to class.
On occasion.
Right? Occasion, at least.
Yes, they did.
Did we talk about this before? If we have, forgive me, because my memory's not great all the time. But was it Notre Dame automatically for you? Was it a recruiting battle royal at the time? How did you end up at Notre Dame?
Kind of a recruiting battle royal. I ended up, I don't know, I was recruited by maybe somewhere between 8 and 10 schools. And 3 of them stood out, Notre Dame, Michigan State, and Purdue. And at the end of the day, I chose Notre Dame.
Do you know why? Do you remember?
As much as anything, well, let's begin with, they've got that dome. They've got Newt Rockne, growing up in...
All the myths.
Myths and legends. I mean, you couldn't make that up. And for a kid in Canton, Ohio, that starts you off pretty well. That coupled with their reputation for their alumni association and helping their graduates once their college career is over. And that seemed to be something that was important to me. Not that I understood it completely, but it seemed to me that was something of value.
How did you find, when you first got there, how did you find the campus? Was it, by the day, standards of the day, relatively progressive? Not so much? Was there a rude awakening at all once you got there? Where you said, well, this isn't all that it's cracked up to be?
Oh, it was.
In terms of the myth?
It was the myth and the legend live. Live then, live now. But, this was 1963 in a conservative Catholic school. And so I don't know that I was necessarily ready for that, but didn't do me any harm.
You adjusted.
I adjusted over time, yeah.
To bring it to today, I'm sure you're aware the revolution that's taking place in college sports. It's a completely different world than the one you were brought into. Players now getting paid. Once upon a time, it was almost impossible to transfer without sitting for a long time. I think you can transfer anytime you want and be at the next school 15 minutes later.
That's what it seems like.
Exactly. And so every once in a while, who was the coach, Guardsy? You might remember, was it the Northern Illinois coach? There was a coach recently.
Yeah, Thomas Hammock.
That's it. Who said, look, I get it. I get, that there's so much money in this thing that the players to a certain extent were abused. I get all of that. But I'm going to tell you, I still feel like something has been lost in our mission regarding it because of the ability to leave one school and go to another school, like I said, 15 minutes later, that he believes ultimately does not serve the interest of the player on that level. What do you think of that whole deal, where we are, where we've come from?
Well, I've always thought that the players, even at the college level, deserve some share of the revenue that they generate. I mean, that just makes sense to me. How that works itself out, how it plays itself out, takes somebody with a bigger brain than I have.
Yes.
I'm not sure how it works out. And how, even from the player's standpoint, how do you do it equitably?
Mm-hmm.
Because while the superstars get known and I think get most of the money,
mm-hmm.
they couldn't do what they do without the young men and women who are, doing the grunt work. Couldn't happen. And those people are not necessarily reaping all the benefits. And so how do you do all that equitably? I'm not sure.
Right.
I just don't know.
It's a challenge.
Oh, absolutely. And we're fairly early in all this.
Yes.
And I think over time, hopefully we'll figure it out.
What do you say to the coaches who say, look, part of my job with a player, and if that coach thinks his job is more than just coaching, but also trying to teach, is to challenge and to push back. And that means this relationship might not always be easy. It might be challenging. And now what many, not say many, but certainly some players do is, I'm gone. I'm not going to listen to that. And that can do a disservice to players who, because of their ages, whatever, do need to go through some things and some challenges, and that many end up being better served if they will hang through that. And now they don't have to.
I absolutely don't disagree with you. But, I'm not sure I'm the one with the solution for that.
Yeah, it's a hard question.
It is a hard question, and it's a problem because running away from the problem doesn't solve it. And going to some place that allows you to not be responsible doesn't solve the problem. But what the solutions to all that are, again, I'm above my pay grade.
Why, to this day, does it still bother me more than it bothers you that in one of the most famous head-to-head regular season football matchups in history, your coach settled for a tie in a 10-10 game? I can remember vividly. It still bugs me that it ended in a 10-10 tie. You told me either the last time or a couple times before that, he's doing, he's coaching, he's doing what he wants to do. It's sick. It's still, and you played in it. You had more at stake, and I'm still more bothered by that all these decades later.
Well, you should be bothered by the fact that the coach of the other team,
Duffy Daugherty, correct?
Duffy Daugherty, had a field goal kicker that could kick 50-yard field goals and had the ball on the 49-yard line with a 4th and goal or 4th and 1. And what did they do? They kicked the ball.
They punted, yeah.
So I'm not even interested in.
Can you imagine that? I'm trying to explain. I don't know what you guys were ranked. Was it 1 or 2? 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
It was. I think of that game in today's, 24/7 media coverage. The X-verse, universe, Twitterverse would explode. It would be so big because that game was
the world almost exploded then without the Twitterverse.
Well, that's true. That's very true. It was massive.
It was huge, and I can remember, you talk about what's the most important game? It's the one in front of you.
Right.
And all of a sudden, this one comes along. It's 2 games to the end of the season, or it's the second game before the end of next to the last game of the season. And all of a sudden, this is more important than anything that's happened before, which is always the case. But it's also more important than what happens in the future. And I'm questioning that. And like, well, wait a minute. If
Yeah, that's
how does this work? If the one that we're playing is the most important, I get why this one is the most important, but more important than what happens tomorrow.
right.
It was kind of an odd experience, sort of not necessarily out of body, but sort of out of mind.
Well, do you remember there was a running back the Cowboys had way back when named Dwayne Thomas?
Yes.
And I think he had the infamous, if they want to call the Super Bowl the ultimate game, why do they play it again next year? Which I thought was along the same lines of what you're talking about.
Well, as Gary Larson said during one of the Super Bowls that we played, may have been the first one, if this game is so important, why are there 500 million Chinese who don't care?
Don't even give a damn. You're right. That's very true.
Who won't even know that it's happening.
Played. For the record, the date of that 10-10 tie was November 19, 1966. That was at Spartan Stadium
Yes.
in Michigan State. You obviously were coached by Ara Parsegan. At the time, Michigan State was 9-0, ranked number 2. You guys were 8-0 and ranked number 1.
When that was over, I felt like I'd been run over by a truck.
Seriously.
Oh, I think the sorest I've ever been after a football game.
Oh, that's interesting. Just because it was that competitive and that physical?
That physical, yes.
That was a great, yeah, those are two. Bubba Smith was on that defense, correct?
Bubba Smith, George Webster.
Yeah, George Webster. Great names.
Who else was there? Well, Gene Washington and Clinton Jones.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Amongst a whole host of others.
It was Chris Schenkel and Bud Wilkinson did the TV broadcast, and then ultimately, so wasn't that the year you guys finished? So that was when you were, the decision on who was the national champion was polls, right?
Right.
And you guys were picked as national champions by AP and UPI. And as I recall, part of that was, didn't you play USC the last game, and didn't you crush them, like 51-0?
Well, we did have to play USC the next weekend in L.A.
Right.
So we had to ride the train back to South Bend after the
train.
Michigan State game.
No plane? The train?
The train.
The train.
And then fly to Southern California the next weekend. And mind you, we played out there 2 years earlier, and at halftime we were up 17-0, and I think ended up losing the game by a field goal.
That. Oh wow!
And so going out there in 1966, thinking we were all beat up,
right?
And as it turned out, we beat them 51-0.
51. I remember like yesterday. I remember that game, and it wasn't. I even think wasn't it rainy? I thought the conditions weren't great. No,
it wasn't.
Not rain. Okay,
it wasn't bad, but I can remember at one point in the first just before halftime, we were up 17-0, and I can remember thinking,
not going to happen again.
Not this again.
That's pretty good.
Can't go in halftime at 17-0.
By the way, do you remember there? I just was looking at a game summary of the 10-10 game, and it claims in this story that your starting running back, I remember him too, Nick Eddy,
running back,
was sidelined after hurting his shoulder by slipping on the ice while getting off the train in East Lansing. Do you remember that?
I remember him being hurt and not playing.
Okay.
Yeah,
that might have been the reason. It's crazy. Alan Page, kind enough to join us in studio. Let's make this the top of the hour pause. Lots more to discuss from the toy department, as I like to call it, and the real world as well. We'll continue with him and mix in some of your texts as well. Don't go away.